the overwhelming feeling today is that the justice system is really not fit for purpose. The justice system in Egypt is not linked to justice. It's about settling scores, it's about its political decisions, but it has no relation with the facts or with the law. And we see a crackdown in Egypt that is not limited to members of the Muslim Brotherhood or supporters of Mohammed Morsi, but we see as well that left-wing activists are also being targeted. You see that journalists are being targeted, and civil society organizations really do not feel safe in this environment. There's currently in Egypt a new anti-terrorism law that is about to be adopted, and that law really criminalizes any criticism of the authorities. And God knows that next time it's applied, it's to a civil society organization. I think Amnesty International is really very well placed. On the one hand, to document the human rights violation, and it's quite frightening, but good to see that we see the return of practices that we had documented in the 90s, for example, and we are able to have that perspective and to identify immediately the practices. But it is important to document all the violations, be it against supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood or being against activists on the opposite political spectrum. And I think Amnesty, with its reputation of impartiality, of independence, is actually well placed to document violations in an environment such as the one we have in Egypt now, which is so polarized, where you are accused of being a supporter of the coup or being a supporter of the terrorists so easily. So to be able to have that independent account of what's happening in Egypt is quite important. If we look at what happened in this last summer, where more than 1,000 protesters were killed, and attacks against Coptic Christians and attacks against women as well, it is quite important to document not only the political violence, but also the long-standing violations, and being able to comment on the draft constitution, and to be there really as a watchdog and to remind the authorities of their human rights obligation.